Welcome back, everyone, to Vestaria Saga. I think it's about time we have ourselves a lovely little plot episode. So let's just get right into it. Seize, give me the story. Commander, I have some good news and some bad news. Is the good news that it's over and we can just go home 2 chapters early? The good news is we have control of the city. The bad news, I know, Ajax and the Black Gauntlets. We need to regroup and prepare for battle. What is their position? Oh, we're starting off strong today. Right behind you. Commander's Adrian, I presume. Huh? How did you get in here? My apologies. The palace was in chaos. It was a simple matter to slip past the guards. I am Ajax Lucifer. Wheelie. Apparently you're a really good guy, but your last name is literally Satan. So, I don't know how to take you. Supreme Commander of Solvian Empire's Vestarian Expedition. I know who you are, Legate Ajax. Your reputation precedes you. My name is Zadrian. Yes, I believe we have covered that. I will come to propose an armistice. You will find the Emperor's conditions in this treaty. Hold, Legate. I cannot conduct such negotiations without Her Royal Highness present. You there, find Princess Athalphus. Tell her what has happened and request her presence in the throne room. Yes, my lord. Legate, if you would follow me this way. I, Legate Ajax. My name is Athalphus. Or Av. Av? Av, your royal highness. What does that mean? Why are we talking about avenues? On behalf of the Emperor Manius, allow me to formally apologize for the incivilities that have occurred here on Meledian soil. I understand you have come to me with conditions for a truce. She doesn't even accept forgiveness or anything. She's just like, okay, why are you here? I like it. That is correct, your highness. The Solvian Empire desires to end hostilities with the Kingdom of Meledia. We will withdraw all from your lands and return them to you. The Emperor has drafted a peace treaty that shows his commitment to renewing the friendship between us, if you are willing to consider it. Legate, I am amenable to the Emperor's gesture. However, in light of Meledia's present state of crisis and my own experience with negotiations, I shall be entrusting the details to Lord Zadrian here. My lord, if you would, of course. Legate Ajax, as I understand it, you are proposing to restore Solvan-Meledian relations to where they stood before the war. Is that correct? Yes, my young lord. You will find it all laid out in this document. Splendid. We shall review the contents carefully and give our reply at a later date. However, there is one matter of pressing concern, which is what you intend to do with your troops stationed in eastern Meledia in the meantime. Are you just going to make them all go away, please? We kind of don't want them there when Satan's breathing down our backs. Wait, Zay doesn't know Satan's coming back. Fuck. Yes, I have already given the order. However, the rebel troops in Regina under Thernes' command are an unknown quantity. If they do not surrender willingly, I shall have to take the castle by force. No, Legate, I must ask you to stand down. The Meledian army will retake the capital. I see. You're not willing to sacrifice your kingdom's honor for a simple solution. I must admit, I would feel the same. They told me you were a fine commander, and they were right. So be it. I will leave the siege of Regina to you. However, be cautioned. Therneus is in league with the Margulites. The castle will be crawling with a murder of diabolists, necromancers, and other dark mages. See that your soldiers are equipped for that. I'd like them to be equipped for that, but you have to understand, resistance stats aren't real. Margulites? In the capital? I thought you knew. We've had a handful of encounters with them, but last I heard, the bulk of their forces were in East Solvia staging those revolts. Not so. They thrive here in Vestaria in numbers that rival those on the mainland. The Margulites have been instrumental in this war. What? I can see this will require further explaining. As you will recall, the war began when our trade delegation was murdered aboard their ship. Yes. Despite Emperor Manius' repeated attempts to reach an amicable solution with King Melsus, our requests for an inquest were all rejected. We decided to conduct our own investigation and discovered that a Meledian soldier was responsible for the fire. The Emperor might have been satisfied with an apology and an explanation, but your negotiator, the Duke of Frist, continued to plead ignorance. Thus, the Emperor decided that the only way to resolve the matter was by force. I will make no excuses for what he did. However, the bloodshed should have ended after your victory in Frist. You've slain the king, his sons, his bannermen, thousands of soldiers. What need was there to march on the capital and continue your brutality? Is that what you think? Then you have been deceived. The Emperor's conditions for repairing relations with Meleda were 2. Investigate the arson and punish the person responsible. After the Battle of Frist, I reached out to Commander Zacharias on the Emperor's behalf and proposed an armistice. The commander remained obstinate, however, and would not accept our terms. Why would he? You asked us to turn over Princess Athalphis as hostage. He would never consent to an abhorrent request. Those were not our terms. As I just said, our conditions were that the Militia determine who started the fire and bring that person to justice. Hang on, I just gotta see right here, because there's a big storm going on outside. Let me just... Oh no, you can't hear it. Okay, good. But that makes no sense. Might I remind you who your negotiator was? The Duke of Frist! It wasn't until later that I learned he was the mastermind behind the incident. He must have realized he would be found out and replaced my letters with forgeries to stop the armistice from happening. That lying snake! I continued my diplomatic efforts with Commander Zacharias after laying siege to Regina Castle, hoping we would find a peaceful solution. 3 months later, we did. The commander agreed to withdraw from the capital along with his remaining troops. He said that as soon as he arrived in Redessa, he would send a letter to summon you and Princess Athalphis home. With the princess's blessing, he intended to proceed with armistice negotiations. However, Duke Zacharias never made it to Redessa, and before long I was called back to the mainland with a deal with the unrest in the east. My hands were quite full there, and I had no time to administer affairs here in the Vestarian Isles. I selected my most trusted and capable tribune to govern in my absence. However, Thurnius managed to oust her without my knowing. Out of greed alone, he released the Empire's most valuable prisoners, the Duke of Frist and the Widow of Thrall, and began ruling Meledia with an iron fist. My condolences about your brother. I know that he was a good man. It was one of Thurnius' co-conspirators that did Duke Zacharias in, an Imperial mage in league with the Margulites by the name of Valerius. Yes, we've crossed paths before. Thurnius and Valerius shall be punished for their treason against the Empire, but make no mistake, they are but pawns of the Margulites. Every event that has led to this conflict, including the firing of the diplomat's ship, can be traced back to the Shadow Clan. Some things truly never die. You can't have actual political drama. It was all Satan's fault. Remember that. Every war that has ever happened ever, Satan's fault. World War I, Satan. World War II, Satan. Vietnam, Satan. It's always been Satan. Never think it hasn't been Satan somehow. They wanted us to go to war. All the easier for them to proceed with their own machinations. And what can you tell me of those? To explain all of it will take time, but essentially the Margulites are trying to return the world to the Dark Age. The age before electricity. Which is now. There was a time when these isles were known as the Margolins. They were named for the Dark One? Correct. Until Vesta the Wise came along. With the help of the 5 heroes, he freed the isles and sealed away the 3 orbs that were the source of the power. He got the continent named after him. Good on you. I mean, America's just named after a hippie band of 3 people. Really surprised they were so popular they got 2 continents named after them. Then again, Horse with No Name is a good song. The Margulites sprang up later, helmed by the Geisens and Roms and... I think I pronounced all 3 of those words wrong, and I didn't even pronounce one of them, who once made up the nobility of Margol's empire. They immediately set their sights on Vestaria, the sacred land that was once the heart of their master's domain. Once the Margulites have resurrected enough soldiers to mount an attack, they will attempt to invade Selrund as well. In short, they are trying to bring about another Dark Age. But the Margulin Empire ended 6 centuries ago. Why haven't the Margulites been stamped out by now? Margul's reign lasted 130 years. They say he and his kind are immortal. The 5 Ugdal heroes vanquished them in the Battle of Theros, but it was only a temporary setback. Now that you mention it, while crossing the Ahiri Desert, we encountered a dark priest who was collecting something called geotite. Ah, then you're familiar with it. Geotite is a type of stone used to revive demons. Big brain theory confirmed. Magvel and this place take place in the same universe, and the Darkstone was just a fancy geotite. They've already amassed large quantities of it back on the mainland, which they've brought here to begin rebuilding their army. And they have another purpose in Vestaria, the most terrifying of them all. They intend to awaken the Nether Drakes. Nether Drakes? 3 savage drakes that served Margol. They slumber deep beneath Vestaria's oldest places. The ruins of Janeth and Meledia, the ruins of Galakia and Venecia, and the ruins of Laros and Norden. With the dragons at their behest, the Margulites will have little trouble destroying the Temenos of Vesta and paving way for Margol's reign. If that happens, we are lost. Not just Vestaria, all of us. It is absolutely essential that Temenos keep a close eye on the maidens holding the seals. Oh dear. Oh, funny thing about that, buddy. Emperor Manus has sent me with a letter to Lana Near. I must go to the sanctum and deliver it as soon as possible. Vestaria and Solvia must come together now if we are to avoid meeting the same grim fate. Wouldn't you agree, my lord? Yes, Legate, and a threat to the Circlet Maidens is something I cannot ignore. Legate, we are due in the sanctum tonight. If you wish to stop by the capital, we should depart anon. Thank you, Vanus. Forgive me, Lord Zadrian. I must be on my way. I will stay out of the battle in Regina, but may I beg a favor of you? I wish to avoid unnecessary bloodshed. Many of the soldiers serving Thurnius are unaware of his treason and are simply following orders. If I call for them to lay down arms, I believe most of them will listen. Will you allow me to try? Of course! We will be grateful. One last thing. It was unavoidable in the circumstances, but I am sorry for taking your Lord Father's life. Please accept my deepest apologies. Thank you, Legate. I appreciate your contribution. My father was a coarse man who was more than comfortable on a battlefield than amidst the petty squabbles of the politics of court. The last time I saw him, he said he would be proud to do battle with a worthy opponent like you. I believe his final moments must have been happy. Alright. This is going to be Thurnius. I can't believe it. Was that the Vermal Lady? That beautiful woman with the legate? I knew it was Lady Vanus the moment I saw her. I didn't dare to speak up, though. Why not? I could sense the same power in her that Lana Near has, and that vermal jewel hanging at her breast. It had mystic beauty to it, but every maiden of the sanctum knows that's a piece of the Orb of Enthrallment. Orb of Enthrallment? Is that one of the orbs Legate Ajax mentioned? Yes. It was broken into 3 when Margul's power was sealed away. Lana Near protects one part, Lady Vanus the second, and the Fire Maiden the third. The Orb of Enthrallment poses the greatest threat to humanity, so it's never entrusted to a novice maiden like me. I'm surprised, though. Where did you hear of the Vermal Lady? There was a time when I was little that Zek wouldn't stop talking about her. Really? Oh yes, 10 years ago, when he was studying at the Imperial capital, Lady Vanus saved his life. She was his first love. Beautiful, noble, wise, full of warmth. Until recently, she had a... You shouldn't be saying these things to your brother's fiancé. That's a wonderful story. I never knew about that chapter of his life. Sorry, never mind. I take it all back. I just made all of that up. I hope you don't take it for truth, your highness. Oh, gods, do I know how to put my foot in my mouth. Why are you laughing, Zaid? It doesn't matter to me either way. Good, because it's all nonsense. Lady Vanus, my brother. If anyone's seen Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, that is literally the laugh that the dude does. Oh, stop it. Tell me more. Is it time to polish my armor? I think it's time to polish my armor. By your leave, Highness. He just left in a full run. Well, I think it's romantic. Zaid can be so stuffy sometimes. All of the time? This is gonna be Zaid. No, Theo and Emil. Okay, Theo, I've been looking everywhere for you. Don't leave me all by myself. That's the Emil I remember. Scared of everything, quick to tears. What, because of that one time? You had a scary dream and crawled under my bed. I tried to calm you down, but you grabbed onto me and wouldn't let go. So I ended up letting you stay in my room. You curled up next to me in bed, and I took your hand and told you stories until you were asleep. Your mother wasn't happy about that. She tied me to a column and whipped me until I was raw. Fuck that woman. I'm glad she's dead. I ran away from the manor the next day. I just had enough. I hope you didn't think I abandoned you. No, I remember the things she did. I kept looking for you, you know. I hoped we could be together again. When I found you in Frist last year, I couldn't believe my eyes. Frist? I never saw you in Frist. Theo, I don't want to lie to you anymore. Could you give me a few minutes? What's going on? Emil? Actually... hold on. Actually, it's Amelia. What the? Emmy? Hold on. Processing. What? Sorry, Theo. I never meant to deceive you. I don't understand. Why would you... Did she make you do this? Mother said I couldn't be a girl. I had to be a boy. I couldn't stand it. I knew who I really was. From as far back as I can remember, Mother and I would fight about it. She would spank me if I put on girls' clothes. I wanted to escape so badly. I ran away from home to look for you more times than I could count, but the guards always found me and took me back to Thrall. Then one day last year, I ran away to Frist. Mother owned a manor there that no one was using because of the war. The steward was kind and understanding man. He gave me some of his daughter's clothes to wear. That was when I found you. I wanted to tell you, Theo, it's me, your little sister, but I didn't have the courage. I'm so sorry. Are you mad at me? At you? Never. But I'd give an eye for a chance to put that monstrous woman in her place again. How could she treat you like that? Brother or sister, you're my family, and I love you exactly the way you are. Oh, Theo. Good job, Theo. Good on you. This is a lot for me to take in. I'm sorry if I'm not exactly giving commentary that's riveting. But what kind of Let's Player needs to give good commentary, right? The war will come to a close soon. Once I come home, let's say we start over, little sis. We'll pay our proper respects to our parents and rebuild Thrall into the beautiful city they once made it. That would be a dream come true. But what if you get hurt again? The last time you went to war, you nearly died, Theo. Do you promise you'll come home? You have my word. The only reason I'm still walking and talking is because of you. You gave me a second chance, and I'm not wasting it. Besides, one day you're going to be a beautiful bride. You think I'd miss my chance to give you away? Oh, shut up. You're just saying that. I'm not. Emmy, this is such an incredible moment. Let's never forget it. Starting today, you and I are going to find nothing but happiness. I love you, brother. Good job, Theo. I feel happy inside. Oh, great. The Dark Quickening. That's only can go well. Alright, let's see how this goes. How long? We still have, let's see, 16 minutes. We can keep going. We can keep going. After freeing the prison camp and entrusting the siege of Regina to Garland and General Zacharias, Stilton marched his own brigade eastward. Captain Aslan's warnings about the Netherdrake still preyed on his mind. In 3 days' time, Stilton's army reached Janeth. Just outside the ruins, they found an encampment full of badly bloodied Vestal knights. One of the grim-faced sestras treating the wounded explained that Captain Forza had led a raiding party of 200 knights into the labyrinth. Over half had been slain, and the few still fighting inside were on the brink of annihilation. They were in desperate need of help. Stilton wasted no time. Using a map the Sestra gave him, he led his troops to the labyrinth's gauntlets of cultists and warlocks. After several hours of fighting, they reached the heart of the ruins, where they found what was left of the Knight Tenemos' raiding party. Fortunately, Forza, the young man captaining the elite order of mage knights, was still alive. Oh, shit. Okay, this doesn't... Oh god, what do those switches do? Are those switches, or are those, like... Okay, we got some green units. I can't wait to sacrifice them. Aslan sent you? Whew, I don't think I've ever been more grateful in my life. Thank you, Prince Stilton. I thought no one would come for us. Captain Forza, where is the Netherdrake's resting place? Is it still far? If these old maps are still good for anything, we will find Aiden's Fair in this room 50 Earcs ahead. The Chamber of Binding. Oh hey, I didn't know Roy was in this game. Then that's where Lady Nina is too. We must hurry. The Margulites cannot be allowed to complete their ritual. Oh fuck, I just skipped a line. I think it best you go on without us. Our horses are exhausted from a day of fighting. They can't take another step. We'll stay here and hold off pursuers whilst you find a way into the ritual chamber. As you said, there isn't a moment to lose. What do I do when I get there? If the Netherdrake awakens, is there a way to fight it? Even if the Margulites manage to revive the dragon, it cannot reach its true power as long as the other two circlet maidens guarding it remain safe. By targeting Aidensfar's underbelly with a holy weapon, I understand that it's theoretically possible to subdue the creature. Obviously, it won't be easy, but if it comes to that, we're all doomed if you don't try. Not to put the fate of the whole world on your shoulders or anything. I know what I signed up for. I won't fail you, Captain. I promise. Whoa, we don't even get a preparation. We're just in it. We're just in it. We are just in it. Okay. Alright, well. Treasure chest, treasure chest, treasure chest. Oh, there is no way it is. Okay. Wait, what? Did that just say? What? Well, what? 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 Okay, so those statues are gonna come alive. I don't think, like, that's even room for doubt. Alright, there's Zwarius again. Valeris, what the hell is this? Grants immortality. Okay, cool. Very cool, Kanye. 2 dragons. Okay. Ooh, ice breath. Alright. Alright, so I feel like I'm gonna really need to read a bunch of read these monuments. Alright. Siggy. Examine. The Chamber of Binding. Alright, great. That was a colossal waste of time. Alright. Holen, I guess. Whip her into shape. Examine. The Chamber of Eliad... Fucking, I don't know what any of this means. Irvin will go with Holen. And Helm? Alright, I guess Talon. And then Silton and the rest of the gang will go left. But I have to remember we don't have Lianka or Eddard or like the rest of the boys. Alright. Explain yourself, chapter. Zwarius, half a day has passed since we started the ritual, and I see no change at all. Are you sure this will work? Beyond a shadow of a doubt. Now that you've subdued the Earth Maiden and that Tarakas about her leg, nothing is holding the Netherdrake in check. It will awaken, given time. Then I shall take my leave. You owe me for this, priest. I realize that. I did not summon you here lightly. The fact of the matter is, only a descendant of fire like you has the power to turn a circlet made into stone. You will be rewarded for this. I had better be. And you, Valerius? Are you staying or leaving? Staying. It's not every day one gets to witness an epical moment like this. However, once Aidensphere has been awakened, I must get away to the capital. I need to make sure a certain Gravandal's ruse is working. You worry too much. His illusions are flawless. Not even the Lana saw through them. Let me remind you, Zarius, our mutual goal is to destroy the Solvian Empire. You get your revenge, I get my throne. But under no circumstances will I allow you to resurrect Margul. He's a relic of the past who needs to stay there. Okay, Arvis. The Sixth Age is to be ruled solely by Ugdal outcasts like me. That was our agreement. I will keep my word. King Lucius and Queen Sybil shall govern the Isles of Vestaria, and you can reign over the Selrond mainland. All we lords of the Third Age desire is revenge. For 2 eras we have been oppressed. The Solvians have gone so far to make our eradication a matter of imperial policy. We had no choice but to find like-minded allies and fight back. Once Solvia and the Tememos have been dismantled and our vengeance is complete, we will stand aside and leave the tedium of politics to you. Good. Then I have no objections to using the Netherdrake to hasten that vengeance. You are a valuable ally, Valerius. I can see that, even if your country does not. Alright, so how do I get through this? Staff of Chaos, what? I have a lot of questions. Alright. So, alright, well, let me just examine the Chamber of Quietus. I have, a lot of fucking questions. Way too many questions. Well, I think I'll answer those questions next time. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I will see you all tomorrow, where I am certain this chapter will make me want to die.